right? So an even function is a function that's symmetric with respect to the y-axis, meaning that something like y equals x squared, which looks like this, right? If you look at the y-axis, it looks like a line of symmetry. It's a mirror image on one side as the other. That's an even function. And what it means is, it doesn't matter if I go to the left or to the right, I get the same value. If I go, I'll change that to red. If I go this distance over and up, or if I go this distance to the left and up, it's still the same y value. It doesn't matter if it's f of x or f of negative x. It's the same y value. That's an even function. Right, and I think we all can understand the symmetry with respect to the y-axis. The odd functions are symmetric with respect to the origin. And that one isn't so easy to see. If you haven't seen it before, it may be confusing. But basically, what it means is if I go to the right some distance x, and I go up to find my f of x, right, that's x, f of x. Then if I compare that with going to the left, right, this can be the negative x, then my f of x would actually be the opposite of what it is there. So it goes down. So that point is negative x, negative f of x. So if you have a point in the first quadrant, you have to have a mirror image in the third quadrant. Right? If you have a point in the second quadrant, you got to have a mirror image in the fourth quadrant. Right? So the way we say that with algebra is we say f of negative x equals negative f of x. Yeah. So let's see. There's two examples with this, and I think we get the first one. Are we okay? Christine, you okay? So here's an example, right? Determine if even, odd, or neither. Well, f of x equals absolute value of x. What's the shape of that graph? You know this one. You've used it before. It's a V, right? This one looks like that. I mean, just looking at the graph, would you think that that's even, or odd, or neither? It's even. It's symmetric with respect to the y-axis, right? Now, I can do the test. The test is find f of negative x. F of negative x equals absolute value of negative x, right? But when you take the absolute value, it's going to flip the sign to positive anyway, right? So that is equal to the absolute value of x. So it doesn't matter if you take f of x or if you take f of negative x, you get to the same place. Right? So that's in terms of like testing with algebra. This is testing by looking at a graph.